purposes, such as paying off debt, investing in education or housing, or opening a bank account. So they're using their money wisely, we learned from the study. We also learned that when the money is spent, it circulates through the local economy, generating income for business owners and workers, who in turn spend money, and this is considered new money in the local economy. These evaluators stated that the circulated money has a multiplier effect of 1.5. So what that means is for every dollar generated by the VITA program, it has an economic impact on the local economy of $1.50. So today, the United Way of Palm Beach County is very proud to say that its VITA program has had a significant positive impact on the local economy for a total amount of $137 million.
Of course, the key partner is here today, and that's the IRS. The program, I mentioned earlier, you may recall, I mentioned earlier that this really began as a partnership between United Way and the IRS when we were approached and asked for a potential role in assisting them get the word out. I think that's so significant that through their leadership, and the gentleman you're going to hear from in a minute, a lot of great work has been done here. People really do an exceptional job at doing these preparation of returns. So the volunteers do a great job, and obviously you're doing a terrific job through your education of those volunteers. So thank you so much. Also, I want to thank Ron Albert. Ron's the territory manager from the IRS, and he does quite a bit of things, but in addition to that, a key job that Ron has is educating the public about the Earned Income Tax Credit in the VITA program. And I'm going to ask him if he can say a few words about the IRS and these programs. And I also want to personally thank you for your leadership and all the great work you've done, Ron. It's truly exemplary, and we're so pleased and proud to be a part of it. And glad you're here today.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, I'll get out of your way.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that introduction, and thanks for inviting me here today. I'm a big supporter of the United Way, and as they're a supporter of the VITA. But when I was doing my taxes back in November and December, I was doing some tax planning. I thought maybe I was in jeopardy of losing my itemized deductions. Rather than take the standard deduction, so it's, what is it, $11,400 for a joint return. So what I did, they were going around with the federal campaign for the United Way. I kind of upped it, and I put an extra cash deduction in December, so I looked at my return, and so I'm over that standard deduction, so I had that amount. So I'm a big supporter of the United Way, and anybody I talk to, I really encourage it. And three things I support: my church, my college, and the United Way. Because I think what the United Way does, and I see homeless people out there, and sometimes I feel a little guilty that I don't give them $1, but I say, I give to the United Way. So I feel the support there, and through my federal income taxes that I pay. First, I want to give you some statistics on the EITC. The maximum amount of the EITC that you can get is $5,666. Now, that's a maximum, and the maximum would be a married couple with 3 children or 2 children, but that's the maximum, $5,666. The maximum income that you can have is $48,000 with a married filing jointly. Now, there's different levels. If you're single, obviously the level is different. If you have 2 children or 1, but the maximum. So what we always give out, the 2 maximums of $5,666 and the $48,000. Our volunteers face many challenges this year, and we always want to thank our volunteers at the 18 VITA sites that the United Way is hosting this year. Some of the issues that they'll be working on is the Making Work Pay Credit. Maybe you've heard about that. Actually, this year's return that you'll be filing is the last year for that credit. That's $800 for a married couple, $400 for a single family, and last year was the last year for that credit. And as I was talking to this lady here, unfortunately, she was telling me they did away with the standard deduction of $500 for the real estate taxes. That was not extended for last year in the late legislation that went through. Now, what some of you have noticed is an increase in your paychecks because you had a reduction of 2% in your Social Security. So that's a nice little thing that actually took the place of the Making Work Pay credit. We also have the Opportunities credit, the Educators credit. That's part of a refundable credit that you can get. And also there's the additional child tax credit. So there's various refundable credits that you can get. In addition to the EITC, you can get the American Opportunities credit and the additional child tax credit. Now, one of the unfortunate things that happen is due to the late tax legislation that people such as myself that file Schedule A cannot file till Valentine's Day. So actually at the sites we are preparing returns, but we're holding them, and then come February 14th on Valentine's Day, then people who have the itemized deductions can actually file those returns, and they'll be accepted by the IRS. One of the other things that the IRS has new this year is you can go to the IRS website, irs.gov, and find all the VITA sites that are in your community. You can put your zip code in and find them, and that's going to be throughout the country. That's the first time this year that they've done that, to use irs.gov. Before you had to call the 800 number, so this makes it a little bit easier. Also, I'd like to thank again the volunteers. I can never say enough for all the volunteers that help. This program would not work without volunteers. People who work, people who are retired, that take their time to help people and to go out and prepare returns. A lot of your sites are open in the evening. You have several that are open during the day, but basically they're in the evening and Saturdays. So we really appreciate all those people that go out there, because a lot of people getting their taxes say, do you really do this for free? Yes, they do. They volunteer their time. So we want to thank you. In closing, again, I want to thank the United Way. I want to thank all the partners, and we'll hope to make this the best season ever. Thank you.
Listen, thanks, Ron. Again, what a great partner you are. And as you can see, so much interdependency exists in making a program like this successful. And one of our premier partners with United Way is a program that is integral to the success of this program, as well as many others around the community, but particularly this program. It's our 211 Palm Beach Treasure Coast program, and that's it serves as the community's information and referral line. We're very fortunate because the executive is here today, and she just does a fabulous job. That's our colleague, Susan Buza. During the tax season, people looking for a VITA site, or I guess really any questions related, simply can call 211 and get the appropriate information and get assistance with finding the location closest to them and whatever other help they might require as well. So again, thanks for being here. We also want to thank your staff. So please, when you're talking with your staff, let them know how appreciative we are of what the staff are doing in this regard. A minute ago, Ron mentioned that this wouldn't be possible without volunteers. 200 people are involved, and I know it because Larry and I were at the luncheon last year. I think all 200 of them were there getting recognized. And not only do they get recognized, but there's an insert that's put together that logs all the hours that are spent assisting people in this program. It's amazing how many volunteer hours are there. So those of you who volunteer, can you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you. I'm really tempted to go around and ask you, where were you on that list? Because all I know is a lot of people logged a lot of hours. There's positive stories, you know, that are occurring that we may not read about necessarily or hear about in the media, but lives are being changed, and they're being changed because of your roles as volunteers, but also the roles of the staff who've been involved in. And it really does take the staff to be the glue for these types of programs. One of the keys here, really the focus of today's event, is to talk in terms of the people who get assistance. And we're very fortunate because we have a person here who is an actual recipient of the service, and she's going to talk for a moment about the benefit that is received, and that's, her name is Sherry Recka, and I hope I have pronounced it correctly. Rechka. And you want Rechka. Well, I didn't get close, but not quite the cigar, right? But thank you so much for being here, Sherry, and we'd love to hear a little bit more.
I've never spoken in a microphone before, so I'm going to try. Hi everyone, my name is Sherry. I'm married, I have 2 teenagers, which is why you see all the gray in my hair. I chose to be a stay-at-home mom, so I've always been on a limited budget. In the early days, a friend would help me with my taxes because we always filed a short form and didn't have very many deductions, or any deductions actually. And then when we bought our house and had our kids, I went to H&R Block because I thought I would be able to deduct the mortgage, the tax, the interest that I paid. But then I wound up not having paid enough interest to be able to do that, so I wound up filing a short form anyway and having to pay for it, so I wasn't really too happy about that. Then I tried other various free services, and they weren't very knowledgeable about the earned income credit, so that didn't work out too well either. And I also had to wait hours in line, like at the library, whatever, and you'd have to wait all day, and they really didn't know too much about the child credit, so I wasn't getting all the deductions that I was entitled to. Then one day I heard on the radio something about the United Ways program, and you had to call 211, and it kind of sounded like 911, so I was a little skeptical about it. But I finally did. I dialed, and they directed me to an office, and everybody involved there was really friendly and knowledgeable, and they made sure I had all the proper documents, and more importantly, they made sure I received all the deductions that I was entitled to. They really took their time with me, which I really appreciated. I didn't feel rushed or anything, and they really did a thorough job. And they were also experts in the child care credit, which is my favorite deduction. This is my 4th year using the VITA program, and I'm so grateful to Chandra, who's done my taxes for the last 3 years. I just love her. And I really look forward to seeing her. Most people, I think, dread having their taxes done, but I really look forward to it. And the EITC program is wonderful, and I'm able to do something really special with my kids each summer from the money that I receive because of this credit. And I'm so grateful that I don't have to cut into my refund to have to pay somebody to prepare my taxes. I just recommended this program to my dad down in Broward County because he doesn't know where to go, and he had a horrible experience last year with his taxes, so I'm hoping that he calls. I'm checking in on him every day to make sure he calls and finds an office near him. I would encourage everyone and anyone who has heard about the VITA program to try it, and encourage everyone they know to use it. And I'd like to thank everybody in this room who makes this wonderful program possible. So thank you very much.
Sherry, thank you so much. You did a terrific job, and you know, it just goes to show you never quite know when you need a United Way service, do you? You know, it's kind of a cool connect, so thank you so much for doing so. The thing that, and it's inspirational really, you know, because it just shows that you never quite know if you're qualified. There are probably a lot more people, I assume, around who probably don't partake in this opportunity. So you're helping to get the word out. So hopefully somebody is listening, including your dad, right, who will make sure to take advantage of this and be a part of things. And apparently when you file, you can get your checks back as quickly as 10 to 12 days. So it's even earlier than that. So yeah, I mean, this is something people really need to think about taking advantage of. And to that end, don't call 911, call 211. And just remember that when you're calling and trying to get assistance, there are no language barriers or handicapped access issue barriers because they're wheelchair accessible. People can speak multiple languages, including Spanish, Creole, Chinese, Thai. So there is an opportunity for everybody who wants to be a part of this to take advantage of this, this great service. And also, I mentioned you can call 211. Also, our website, unitedwaypbc.org, has a list of those sites and addresses to those sites. And so, you know, this kind of closes out our event, and I want to thank you all for being here today. You know, hopefully we'll have a lot more people on top of those who've already benefited and take that, what is it, $137 million of funds returned to this community through tax returns. Hopefully we'll be able to see that jump even higher in the coming year. So thank you all. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching PBC TV Presents. For more information on county programs and services, please visit pbcgov.com. This has been a presentation of your Palm Beach County Board of County Commissioners.